8 big companies that don't sponsor tier 2 visa. You would imagine these companies should sponsor, but unfortunately they do not. And if you're an international student, watch this video so you don't have to waste your time in the job market. Let's get into the video. And that leads me to number 8 on my list. Number 8 on my list is Unilever, and this is within the consumer goods space. Unilever have a direct competition with P&G, and if you know Unilever, of course, you know this is a very massive company. So getting into the UK, you actually start applying to jobs, and maybe Unilever is one of your dream companies, only for you to find out that on their website, Unilever wrote it there that they do not sponsor international students. Of course, if you're already on a tier 4 visa. And this is absolutely shocking. I actually found out the hard way. One of my top advices before you actually apply to any of these companies, go to their FAQ segment, find out if they actually sponsor international students. And if you don't want to do this one, you can also reach out to their recruiters on LinkedIn to find out if they actually sponsor. Because listen, time is money. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste the company's time. And the next one on my list is taking us to the telecommunication industry, which is British Telecommunication, BT. Listen, if you know BT is one of the leading companies here in the UK in the telecommunication space. And one thing that comes to mind with BT is sport, football, etc. The next thing that also comes to my own mind when I was actually looking for a job was to apply to them. And I actually went on their website only for me to find out that they actually also stated categorically there that they did not sponsor international students. Basically, people who need tier 2 visa. Like, this is another one that is actually very funny to me because unfortunately, I have a few friends that are actually thinking they sponsor, but they do not sponsor. And the next one on my list is also within the telecommunication industry, which is Sky. Sky is very popular. If you watch the Premier League, if you watch sport here in the UK, you would actually know Sky. And of course, Sky also have graduate program. For example, they have a graduate program with respect to consulting. And I actually applied to this one. Unfortunately, Sky also do not sponsor. So don't even waste your time. If you have the post-study and you actually want to explore or probably seeking experience, you can still apply to some of these companies. But if you are really looking for tier 2, these are the companies you want to target. And the next company on my list that you would think sponsor but do not sponsor is a company within the professional service space, and of course, they provide technology services. They have a graduate program, and that's FDM. Listen, this one was a shocker because they even came to my school on the career fair day and they were pitching themselves. They would say categorically in the event that if you attended the event, you would have a guaranteed interview. And I was so excited that I actually they told us the email we send the CV to. I sent my CV to them. And guess what? Listen, I did not hear anything till today. Listen, they ghosted on me. I'm not saying this is not a very reputable company, but I believe I did not get what was promised. And it's not actually only myself. A lot of my friends also complained. I reached out to the recruiter. The recruiter replied, only for me not to hear from the recruiter anymore. And that's what happened. Listen, I don't know why, I don't know what, but personally, a few of my friends also applied to FDM, and unfortunately, they even told one of my friends that they do not sponsor tier 2 visa. FDM, you can actually, like I said, if you are willing to explore the post-study experience, or you're just looking for experience and you want to go back to your country, you can apply to FDM or some of these companies. But if you're looking for tier 2 visa, save your time. And the next company that I want you to be aware of while you're actually applying to this great opportunity is a company within the retail space, very, very reputable company. And before I actually share the name with you, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel because I make videos that can actually help you in your job application. So moving on to the company, this company, like I said, is a very reputable company, and it's a company that pays ridiculous amount of salary to their graduates. They have a graduate opportunity with respect to retail manager, and they pay at least £44,000 if I'm not mistaken, which is a lot of money. They even give you a car, all these juicy stuffs. But guess what? They don't sponsor tier 2 visa. So if you're an international student, do not waste your time applying to Aldi. Aldi is the company I'm talking about, one of the elite companies within the retail space. As juicy as all of these things sounds, I believe you should save your time. They don't sponsor tier 2. You can check it on their website, but don't waste your time. They don't sponsor tier 2. So moving on to the next one on my list, I'm taking you guys to the supply chain industry. And this one is a company that I actually even got to the assessment center. Listen, I'm actually very, very frustrated with this one. I believe companies should tell you from the beginning if they can't sponsor your tier 2 visa. One way or the other, I don't know. This one I applied, I passed the test, online test, passed the video interview. I was invited to the assessment center only for them to now update me a few days to the assessment center that unfortunately they do not sponsor tier 2 visa. I was even trying to ginger them that let me use my post-study to explore. They were like, no, we cannot take you. And it was a waste of my time. And this company is DHL. Now, this is a very reputable company known worldwide. This is a company that you would imagine should sponsor Tier 2 visa, but unfortunately, I'll be busting your bubble. If you see DHL graduate program, like I said, if you are not a resident of the UK, if you're an international student, don't waste your time. I'm very sorry, you will be rejected. And this was a waste of my time. This was a waste of the company's time. And this one is a shocker. And the next one on my list is a company within the financial service industry. This is a very funny one because this is a bank that I thought would be sponsoring. Don't get me wrong, in 2020, this bank was sponsoring, but in 2021 and moving up until now, in 2023, this bank currently don't sponsor, and that's Lloyds Bank. Listen, this bank sponsors some of their technical roles, but there are many of their roles they don't sponsor. For example, their commercial banking role, their retail banking role, they don't sponsor all this one. But anything that has to do with probably tech, engineering, you get what I'm saying? They sponsor this one. So with this bank, if you actually apply to this role, I said they don't sponsor, you will get automatic rejection, and you just take your breakfast sharp. Listen, Lloyds Bank, they do not really sponsor, but they actually sponsor technical roles. So before you apply, try and cross-check this one with them, and you should be fine. So moving on to the next on my list, I'll put these two companies together because they have something in common, and that is a bank and of course one of the big four accounting firm. Now this one is NatWest. It's a commercial bank here in the UK, and of course PwC is one of the big four accounting firms. So why am I actually putting them together? Now these two companies, NatWest for example, they do not sponsor majority of the graduate opportunities, but listen, they sponsor a few. But I will advise you actually confirm with the recruiter, or probably you send an email. This thing is very important to confirm which of the graduate programs they sponsor. I have many of my friends that they actually applied to NatWest, their offers were rescinded. I actually also applied to NatWest. It was very similar with respect to the sponsorship issue. So this is something you want to verify. This is something you want to look into. Now with PwC, PwC sponsors, don't get me wrong, but PwC stated also on their website that there are a few of their roles that they do not sponsor. So if you apply to these roles, you will get automatic rejection. And if you get automatically rejected, it means you have to wait to the next recruitment cycle, which you do not want because you don't want that breakfast. So why I've actually put these two companies on this list is the fact that if you don't know what you are doing, they might not sponsor you. So that's why they make my list. One more thing though, I'm building a community where we actually provide information that actually help international students in their job application. So if you'd like to join this community, kindly reach out to me on IG or just drop a comment in the comment section. So now that you actually have an idea of the companies that do not sponsor Tier 2 visa in 2023 here in the UK, you can actually complement that piece of information by watching my video where I actually share top 20 companies that actually sponsor Tier 2 visa in 2023. See you in the video.